Hey everyone, welcome back. Stacker here. In today's Numismatic News and Information for the 15th day of October 2023, I'd like to welcome you over to moneymetals.com so we can check out the spot prices where they ended the week Friday, as well as the premium on the American Silver Eagle. In addition, going to take you over to the United States Mint bullion sales page to see if we have any new numbers to talk about. But before all that, we're trying to get this channel up to 10,000 subs, so don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. That way we could be selling products like this on a mug, on a t-shirt, on a hat, on a sticker, and so on and so forth. So that's going to be pretty epic, pretty cool. Can't wait for that to happen. Now let's head over here to moneymetals.com. Looks like gold ended the week at 1944.45, silver at 22.89, platinum at 897.35, and palladium at 1184.39. You're looking at an in-stock American Silver Eagle whose premium is 8.49. Remember that was not 6.99? Yeah, that's not such a bad deal now that we look back, is it? Now over here to the bullion sales for the United States Mint. These are updated every weekday by 5 p.m. and they could honestly do it over the weekend too. You've seen wilder stuff than that. So here we go. Our total here for the year is 19.4 million. We could easily see 20 million, maybe even 21 million if the Mint gets its act together here at the end of the year. Now over here to ngc.com. This is a great article posted on 5/19. That's May 19, 2023. So it's this year. It's about 5 months old, almost to the day, but it's well worth it because not much changes in the hobby. But I do have two coins, all right, two Lincoln cents that I'm going to add to this at the end. So stick around. Guys, really great pickup for anybody that loves those Lincoln cents or just want to get into it. All right, here we go. Because let's face it, these ones here that I'm going to show you, well, they're pretty expensive, no doubt about it. And this is the most unassuming coin in all the circulation for U.S. coins. However, I think the Lincoln cent is probably one of the most underrated circulation coins of all time. Now, here we go. Let's get to it. It says here, this is posted on 5/19/2023. I already said that. Pennies worth money, and they are not lying here, folks. It says here, not all 1-cent coins are created equal. Here's a guide to the most valuable pennies ever produced. Now it says here, although pennies, see how they're not calling them Lincoln cents all the time consistently? Yeah, because you can call them what you want, pennies or cents. Although pennies are most often thought to be worth very little, some 1-cent coins from throughout history are well worth a small fortune. While most modern pennies are only worth their 1-cent denomination, some rare pennies can be worth thousands of dollars, and in some cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, folks, these pennies that I'm going to show you here today, this isn't all of them that are worth good money, okay? There's the close AM with the wide AM and all those varieties that you can find. And I got two at the end of this video to show you, so stick around. Now, it says here, the minting of U.S. pennies has come to an end for various reasons, but the 1-cent denomination will always be a coin collecting favorite. Absolutely, it's probably the gateway for a lot of people to get into coin collecting because it's the easiest one to pick up, right? You can get 50 examples for 50 cents in a coin roll at your bank. All right, but the 1-cent denomination will always be a coin collecting favorite. The next time you find a penny on the ground, you might think twice before passing it by, since you never know what its true value could be. Absolutely, even if it's a parking lot coin, right? This guide takes a closer look at pennies worth big money, including 15 of the most valuable pennies ever produced. And I think we'll just go over the 10 that they've got here, and then the other 5 you can check out on your own. I'll leave a link in the description below for this particular article here. It says Short History of the U.S. Penny. The United States 1-cent coin, most often referred to as a penny, has been the cornerstone of American currencies for almost 250 years. Originally minted in 1787, Benjamin Franklin is widely believed to be responsible for the design of the first American penny, which was known as the Fugio cent. Due to the founding fathers' involvement with the coin, it is also referred to as the Franklin cent. And I think that's what most people know it as, the Franklin cent. A few years later, in 1793, the United States created a half-cent denomination. The coin would be the lowest unit of physical currency in the U.S. until it was abolished in 1857. Now, ever since, the 1-cent coin has been the nation's lowest denomination coin. You hear that? That's education right there. Next time somebody's teaching, you get taught. Now, while there have been numerous variations of the penny since its creation, it mainly has been minted as a copper or copper-plated coin throughout its existence. Of course, the penny, as most Americans know it, has featured the image of President Abraham Lincoln since it was introduced in 1909. There it is. Now, that's over 100 years old, folks. A coin that's over 100 years old. There aren't many circulating coins that are over 100 years old, like, for example, the Jefferson nickel, 1938, the Washington quarter, 1932, and the Franklin dime, right, 1946, I believe. So, yeah, and then the Kennedy half dollar, 1964, right? So, there it is, the Lincoln cent. Bam. Now let's keep on keeping on. The 1 cent coin has a longer storied history. However, in recent years, it's become nearly obsolete. And that's really sad for America's most beloved and longest running circulating coin. Pennies have lost almost all of their purchasing power in modern times due to inflation, rising production costs, and the burden they impose on banks, businesses, and the general public. Ouch. The 10 most valuable Lincoln pennies in U.S. history. Here we go. Number one, let's go ahead and say this first. Actually, I don't want to jump ahead too quickly here. There are many variations of the U.S. penny, but some are the rarer examples command huge prices at auction. Many of the most valuable pennies date back to the early days of our nation, with others from the 20th century featuring Lincoln's portrait commanding top dollar as well. Here's a list of the rarest and most valuable Lincoln pennies known to exist. All right. The reason this is special, well, it's a 1943 D Lincoln bronze cent, $1.7 million. And there's a good reason why. The particular example, U.S. 1 cent, is a holy grail of all rare and valuable Lincoln pennies. The 43 D Lincoln bronze penny was never fully circulated since it was produced by mistake during the minting process. The U.S. was transitioning from bronze alloyed pennies to zinc-plated steel pennies in the early 1940s. However, a handful of these bronze coins slipped through the cracks and a few pennies were struck. It is believed that only around 20 of these 1943 D pennies were released from each of the San Francisco and Philadelphia mints. Even more scarce, the Denver mint allegedly only produced one bronze 1943 D penny, which makes it the rarest known 1 cent coin across the globe. Considering the Denver example one of a kind, it's no surprise that this coin was the most expensive penny ever sold when it went to auction in 2010. That's 13 years ago. In fact, the Lincoln penny shattered previous records at the time in a private sale that took place in September of 2010 when it sold for $1.7 million through Legend Numismatics. That's incredible. Now here we go, another 1940s penny. Like many of the rarest pennies in circulation, the 1944 San Francisco minted Lincoln steel penny is another 1 cent coin struck in error. In 1944, the Lincoln pennies were supposed to be minted using the original bronze alloy, which consisted of 95% copper and 5% tin. Absolutely. Yet 2 zinc-plated steel planchets were used in the San Francisco mint before they caught the mistake. Only a handful were produced, making it scarce and therefore one of the most valuable pennies around. A high-grade example of the 1944 San Francisco Lincoln steel penny, graded NGC Mint State 66, went to auction in August 2008. The example was in uncirculated condition, as well preserved and well struck during the minting process. The exceptional coin sold through heritage auctions for $373,750, making this one of the most expensive coins ever struck. Absolutely. Bam. Now look at this. Number 3 spot, the 1958 Lincoln double die obverse sold for $336,000. It's incredible how these have such, I mean, if you look at the multiple, it's worth 0.01 cents. Yeah, do the math. How many times a multiplier is that? That's incredible. While the low mintage numbers are often the reason why pennies have made the pennies worth money list, the die variety also contributes heavily to the desirability of the 58 double die obverse Lincoln penny compared to the similar die variety penny in the 1955 double die Lincoln cents, which is numbered in the thousands. There are only 3 known to exist of the 58 example, though, and it's a mystery how 3 examples in mint state red condition ever exited the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia. One theory is that a mint employee smuggled a few coins out of the mint, but there's no concrete evidence. And really, I think that's how a lot of errors actually do happen. Really, it really is interesting. Now it says here, 1943 S Lincoln set struck on bronze. Here we go, another of the 1940s. So, folks, if you do find the 1940s Lincoln cents, you might want to double check them. Now, this 43 San Francisco Lincoln cent is another air coin struck on bronze planchet instead of a zinc-plated steel planchet. The 43S Lincoln cent struck on bronze is extremely rare, especially considering there are only 6 known examples of the penny that were produced at the San Francisco Mint that year. Remember the D? It was 1, right? Although this was another air coin, they are believed to have made it into circulation through normal coinage distribution due to their condition. Higher graded coins are often suspected to have made their way into the public hands by mint employees. There's that common denominator again. With only 6 pieces in existence, the 1943 S Lincoln penny is a very rare and very valuable 1 cent coin. In fact, February 2016, one example realized $282,000 when it sold at a heritage auction sale. Now, here, check this out. 1909 VDB matte-proof Lincoln set. Yeah, what? Now, this is another interesting and very valuable penny since production was halted and one element of the coin was removed before continuing production. The 1909 VDB matte-proof Lincoln penny was the first time any presidential adorned U.S. coinage with Abraham Lincoln Portis used as the obverse image. Designer Victor David Brenner included all 3 of his initials in the bottom of the reverse coin before the Treasury Department said his initials must be removed from the pennies. There you go, at the bottom there. Therefore, The Philadelphia Mint struck only 1,194 of the proof coins and stored the pennies away for a century. Decades later, the 1909 VDB Lincoln pennies gained a brilliant rainbow coloring with varying red and brown tones to them. These unique and attractive pennies, along with their low mintage numbers, make them one of the most rare and valuable pennies in the hobby. In August 2014, an example in uncirculated condition sold in Chicago through Heritage Auctions for $258,500. There's another right there, Heritage Auctions, another common denominator here, right? Now let's keep on keeping on. The 1943 Lincoln set struck on bronze alloy. And again, now look at this. This is probably one of my favorites. That's a 1904D Lincoln cent. Here we go. Not all pennies on the list are error coins, but instead earn their rarity for other reasons. In the case of the 1914D Lincoln cents, the pennies were heavily circulated. In fact, many people in the early decades of the 20th century collected coins that were in circulation and added them to their penny boards. Due to so many of the 1914 pennies being in circulation, few were in good condition. That means they're condition rarity, right? That's why in August 2017, with an extremely clean, uncirculated example went to auction, it commanded top dollar. A collector added the uncirculated 1914D Lincoln cent to their collection when they paid $152,750 at the Heritage Auction sale. Now, this is the one I really want right here. This is a 1926 San Francisco minted Lincoln cent, and this is just basically in a mint state 65 grade, and there's nothing really special about this. And you could buy a house with that particular coin in a mint state 65. It's remarkable. The 1926 Lincoln cent is a penny that collectors can actually get their hands on fairly easily compared to the most of the coins on this list. However, finding an uncirculated example is a different story. Imagine a whole roll of those bad boys in a mint state 65. Good Lord. Now, the 26 penny had low mintage numbers, so if you come across the 26X S in an uncirculated condition, it has likely maintained its copper red color, and it's worth thousands of dollars, if not $100,000. In January 2006, coin collectors flocked to the Heritage Auctions Fund signature auction to bid on a lot that contained a rare and valuable penny. There you go. The winning bidder was able to add an uncirculated example to the 26S Lincoln cent to their collection for a stunning $150,000. Isn't that something? Then you have here the 1969S Lincoln cent double die obverse sold for $126,000, and I do believe that was right there in January 2008. And then number 10, here you go, the 1909 SVDB Lincoln cent sold for $117,500. Now, similar to the matte-proof version of this coin from the same year, the 1909 SVDB Lincoln cent stems from the first 1 cent series to replace the Indian head penny with the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. As already mentioned, the coin designer Victor David Brenner added all 3 of his initials to the coin. Since the Treasury Department ordered for his initials to be removed, production stopped at almost 500,000 pennies, minted. The overnight change made these 1 cent coins all the rage in the early 1900s and has made it one of the most highly sought after coins in numismatics. In March 2014, a superb example of this famous coin sold at a Heritage auction for $117,500. Now, below here, you'll find the 5 most expensive U.S. pennies ever sold, and yeah, they're worth millions of dollars, some of them. So let's keep on keeping on. Did want to show you this real quick. If you do find a 1926S and it's red, 26S red in a mint state 65, $120,000. And even if it's in a mint state 60, it's worth a good $500. Nice down payment on something fancy. Now, over here to eBay. Got to show you this. These are what we're seeing lately. And I have the sold listings under here. This is the 1923 Lincoln cent Extra V mint state. And these are obtainable also, folks. They were found in upstate New York and I believe in Louisiana, Alabama. And they are selling for good money. All right, good money. And it's easily still attainable by just the general public. So you can find these, and if you do find them in a uncirculated roll, I'd say you're pretty much you're stoked. These were found in, I believe, April of this year, and they're still being found to this day. Maybe if you go through a box of pennies, which is 2,500 pennies, you may find 4 or 5 examples out of that 2,500. So they're very rare. And they're very much sought after. Look at this one, sold October 13, 2 days ago, October 11, October 10, October 8. Look at that one. The ones that are worth the most are the PCGS graded. Now, let's keep on keeping on, run out of time. Look at this one here. This is the Cheerio cent. This one's also awesome, and it is very much attainable. Now, let's go to the plus ones. This is Proverbs 4:23. More than you guard anything, safeguard your heart. For from it are the sources of life. Now, I think what that means is more than anything, a person must guard their heart, which is pivotal in focusing thoughts and desires away from the negative and towards the positive. Now, let's head over here to 395.99.9 KOIN Coin News Radio. And if I'm going too fast, just go to this button right here and slow it down. This is Tool Disposition off the Lateralis album. It is epic. Now, there it is, folks. I want to thank y'all for watching. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stacker out.